Greetings, blessed beings. Here we are once more at Shelter in the Storm with A Course in Miracles lesson 102. We are now up to part C of section 5. Be vigilant only for God and His kingdom. We said before that the Holy Spirit is evaluative and must be. He sorts out the true from the false in your mind and teaches you to judge every thought you allow to enter it in the light of what God put there. Whatever is in accord with this light, He retains to strengthen the kingdom in you. What is partly in accord with it, He accepts and purifies. But what is out of accord entirely, He rejects by judging against. This is how He keeps the kingdom perfectly consistent and perfectly unified. Excuse me. Remember, however, that what the Holy Spirit rejects, the ego accepts. This is because they are in fundamental disagreement about everything, being in fundamental disagreement about what you are. The ego's beliefs on this crucial issue vary, and that is why it promotes different moods. The Holy Spirit never varies on this point, and so the one mood He engenders is joy. He protects it by rejecting everything that does not foster joy. And so He alone can keep you wholly joyous. The Holy Spirit does not teach you to judge others, because He does not want you to teach error and learn it yourself. He would hardly be consistent if He allowed you to strengthen what you must learn to avoid. In the mind of the thinker, then, he is judgmental, but only in order to unify the mind so it can perceive without judgment. This enables the mind to teach without judgment, and therefore to learn to be without judgment. The undoing is necessary only in your mind, so that you will not project instead of extend. God Himself has established what you can extend with perfect safety. Therefore, the Holy Spirit's third lesson is: be vigilant only for God and His kingdom. This is a major step toward fundamental change, yet it still has an aspect of thought reversal, since it implies that there is something you must be vigilant against. It has advanced far from the first lesson, which is merely the beginning of the thought reversal, and also from the second, which is essentially the identification of what is more desirable. This step, which follows from the second, as the second follows from the first, emphasizes the dichotomy between the desirable and the undesirable. It therefore makes the ultimate choice inevitable. While the first step seemed to increase conflict, and the second may still entail conflict to some extent, this step calls for consistent vigilance against it. I have already told you that you can be as vigilant against the ego as for it. This lesson teaches not only that you can be, but that you must be. It does not concern itself with order of difficulty, but with clear-cut priority for vigilance. This lesson is unequivocal in that it teaches there must be no exceptions. although it does not deny that the temptation to make exceptions will occur. Here, then, your consistency is called upon, despite chaos. Yet chaos and consistency cannot coexist for long, since they are mutually exclusive. And as long as you must be vigilant against anything, however, you are not recognizing this mutual exclusiveness, and still believe that you can choose either one. By teaching what to choose, the Holy Spirit will ultimately teach you that you need not choose at all. This will finally liberate your mind from choice and direct it towards creation within the kingdom. We'll leave the text there for today, and we will move right along to lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something, and may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it, and to suspect it really makes no sense. It has not gone as yet, but lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. Today, we try to loose its weakened hold still further, and to realize that pain is purposeless, without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist. And everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence, like itself. You have been slave to nothing. Be you free today to join the happy will of God. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercises planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. Here is your home, and here your safety is. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice, and that you share God's will. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him as loving as Himself. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function, and be sure that you are joining with God's will in doing this. Excuse me, my phone alarm may be going off shortly. Let us continue on. Excuse me. Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. Oh, how happy, happy, happy. I love to garden. Ooh, it's one of my wonderful joys in life. You are blessed beings, indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. Have you not noticed? It is always more preferable to be happy than to be sad. There is an innate knowing within you that this is the way you are meant to be. When you are happy, everything is better. Your life is better, your finances seem better, your relationships feel better, your opinions of yourself and others are better. When you suffer, sacrifice, or feel out of sorts, as you say, the very same things, everything, look awful. You have an innate knowing that happiness is preferable to sadness. You innately know freedom is a natural preference over imprisonment. You don't have to study anything to know this. That is because it is God-given, and it is natural to be happy. So when you are sad, know that you have made an error of thought. You are not sinful. You are not bad. You merely have made an error of thought. Ask yourself, what thoughts do I have that cause this sadness? I don't have enough money. That thought will cause you sadness. I'm not attractive enough. That thought will cause you sadness. I'm not a success. That thought will cause you sadness. Excuse me. If you have these thoughts, then you are out of accord with God's will for you. If you say, I am very successful, you feel good, and that means you are successful. That is the alignment you seek. It doesn't matter how you define success. Your idea of success may be to do nothing all day long. That could be your idea of success and God's will for you. If that is your purpose, to be a non-productive person, and there are beings whose purpose is that, indeed, then that will make you happy. In your day-to-day living, look for those little things you indulge in that cause you suffering and make you sad. Know you are off track there, and you need to reassess the wording of that thought, belief, or idea. In that reassessment, shift it around a little bit. Turn it around. Make it go back to front and upside down. See which statement feels better for you. You are the master of your ship. You accept or eliminate your thoughts. Some thoughts need to be ignored and let go, and they will dissipate and go away. Other thoughts need to be paid attention to because they inspire. They cause you joy. They return you to that natural state of happiness that is God's will for you. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will see you again tomorrow. Much love, dearest ones. Namaste.